Is Jason Cruz. I write for MMA Payout. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. It looks like I just caught you after a practice. Am I correct? My assumption?
Oh, no, I was going to drop my COVID test off.
Oh, okay. Probably a necessary thing to do. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, I'm wanted to talk to you about next week's fight against Arlene Blencowe. It seems as though I watched the your post fight press conference from August, and it looks like you got your wish because it's you had noted that Arlene was still in the United States, and I guess Bellator was listening to you. How'd you feel when you got the news that this was going to be your opponent?
I was really excited. I mean, I think she's a really tough fighter. I think she's really good, and that's why I wanted to fight her. I know there's girls that were ranked ahead of me, but they're unavailable or have fights coming up. So I was really excited that they offered her up to me.
That's great. So, do you know her from any other organizations, or you just have you trained with her before, or you just
No,
have known her from afar?
no, I've just known her from her Bellator fights. I mean, I've been a fan of her. I think we started around the same time, but we've never fought in the same promotion until now. So our paths have never crossed.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me a little bit about being back in the cage. You had to take 2 years off for this or that. I know you talked about it in the past, and so you got back in the cage, won by split decision. How does it feel to be back fighting again?
Felt really good. I'm sick of having 2 years off in between fights. I was just really excited that I'm going to get two fights in kind of a short amount of time. So it just feels really good. I went in there, hopefully got all the ring rust off, and I'm going to be good as new come next week.
So tell me about this particular training camp. You're back fighting. Were there any lessons learned from your fight in August where you won by split decision, and how does the body feel after getting back in the cage? And you said getting off that ring rust.
My body feels great. Yeah, I didn't have any injuries or anything from that. The worst I had was I lost a toenail, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that bad.
Now,
Um,
now I
so
gotta ask, how did you lose the toenail with it? I mean, and then do you even
well,
feel
I
it
mean,
come off?
no, and it wasn't from the fight. It's just I've been banned from long distance running in camps. And so as
Mm.
soon as that fight was over, I was like, I'm gonna go do a 10-mile race, but just because I can. And I did it
So,
wearing new shoes.
okay, okay. So now, are you a distance runner though? Do you like doing the big runs, things like that, as your cardio?
Yeah, actually before I started MMA, I used to both run and cross country ski marathons. I really like doing the endurance runs. So, but like I said, I've been banned from it while I'm in camp. So
Now, okay. Now I have to ask you. So you can see in the background, I actually do Ironmans. But can you? So what happens with the toenail? I'm intrigued. Does it grow back, or how do you treat it in any way? What do you do?
oh yeah, they grow back. Like it was weird because the very first marathon I ran, I was like, I'm gonna go get brand new shoes for this marathon, and then you're out there running for 4.5, 5 hours straight, and I lost both my big toenails because you get those little blood blisters underneath your toenails.
Oh
And
yes, yes. I mean, you
I
do
don't.
hear about the distance runners losing toenails or taking out their own toenails because of that issue. So anyway, let's talk about your training now. I mean, since we talked about toenails, how has it been? Are you a kind of are you and your coaches the kind of team that checks out their opponent or kind of focuses on your own skills? How do you approach every fight like this?
We do both. Because every fighter has like their tendencies. So we don't like obsess over her last fights or anything. We just, we watch a few fights and say, okay, she has these tendencies, so we'll modify some of what you do to work well against these tendencies. But I would say the majority of it is spent just working on me and not so much obsessed. I have no control over what she does, so we focus on what we can control.
Excellent, excellent. And so, the top of the card has Chris Cyborg defending her women's featherweight title. The women's division in Bellator, the featherweight division, is pretty stacked. If you go up and down the card and think of who's in the division, and do you see yourself getting into the talk of fighting Chris Cyborg in the near future?
I hope so. I knew it would take a couple of fights to get there. And Arlene is right now ranked the #1 contender. So my hope is that I get past her, and then, I at least have an argument to be next in line for that fight.
Now, we won't get past, next Friday or November 12th. But would you like to stay busy? And I assume you want to do something, assume everything goes well health-wise, you want to be back in the cage back in 2022. How early would you like to do? Would you want to take some time off for Thanksgiving and the holidays? Or do you want to just get back in the gym, assuming everything health-wise does well?
At this point, I want to stay busy. I've had enough time off. I mean, right after the fight, I'm actually going to my parents for kind of an early Thanksgiving before I go home. So I'll get that out of the way, and then I think I'll be ready to kind of get back in there and get back into the swing of things right away.
Okay. And home for you is that Blaine, Minnesota? Is that correct?
Yeah, St. Anthony now, but yeah, in Minnesota.
Anthony. So tell me a little bit. My father-in-law, he lived in Hibbing, Minnesota. How far away is that from Hibbing?
Hibbing's about probably an hour and a half from here. So I mean, it's not.
It's fun. It's worth. It's a day ride or like an hour ride. So anyway, I'm just curious about. I'm not a geography guy, so I'm just curious about that. Pam, thank you so much for answering the questions and getting interviewed by me. I appreciate it. Good luck next week against Arlene Blencowe. And I assume that after you are victorious, that you're going to shower up really quick and then hopefully check out Chris Cyborg, perhaps a future opponent.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to watching that fight.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Pam. Have a great rest of the day.
All right, thank you too.
Okay, bye-bye.